Welcome to a new episode of the Sunday Sauce. I have the queen of bail bonds here, Michelle Esquenazi. Michelle, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us a little background. How did you get into this business?
Well, I'm a girl from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised. I found myself a domestic violence escapee when I was a very young girl. I had 2 kids and one in my belly, and I escaped. And soon as I had him, he's about 29 now. As soon as I had him, I went back to school, and I was going to study to be I was studying to be a paralegal. And I had a cousin who somehow married this immigration lawyer, became a bail bondsman. He took a look at me. I was kind of cute. And he said, "Hey, do you want to interview at my bail bond office?" And I did want to get off of aid to dependent children because we were on welfare. I didn't get child support or any of that fancy stuff. And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." So I went and I interviewed with his manager. I got the job and I was running the place within 2 weeks. And then I said, he seems a little corrupt. I think I could probably do this on my own. And the rest is bail bond history.
Interesting. So back then, I'm sure still now, the bail bonds business is still probably highly male dominated. Yes.
Well, right now we're 65% women, but 30 years ago, absolutely, yeah.
Wait, right now it's 65% women.
Yes, it
really?
is. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you live and learn.
So 30 years ago, obviously, it was a male-dominated business.
Of course, everything was.
Do you think now, because of you, it's more female dominated? Like you are maybe the voice of
it's a path. Yeah. A lot of the younger generation does call me, look up to me, tell me that I inspired them to do. But I mean, listen, there was plenty of women before that, but yes, there are plenty that call me. They still call me for advice all over the United States. And I always take the time and I give it.
Interesting. So how many offices do you have right now?
Well, I mean, how many offices did we have?
Oh, because of right.
Yeah. So, Empire is still the largest bail company in New York, in New York's history, really. Mm-hmm. But part of what I do was I was kind of thrust into politics. So in 2012, I started going up to the Senate and lobbying against bail reform, long before people knew what those 2 words were, long before they were talking about it at the dinner table or on, channel 2, 4, and 7. Mm-hmm. So, at that time we had a red Senate, and Senator Golden and Senator Lanza and all those guys, they were not going to have that happen to New York. So I would go up there, I would talk to them, do my slideshows, and, and they weren't going to do it because they would never do anything against blue. But once New York became a blue trifecta, I knew that paid political agenda, because it's Soros funded, I knew that it was going to go through because I lobby nationally. So Don Cuomo signed it into the budget on 4/19. Mm-hmm. And then it went into effect on 1/1/20. So I had time, because I knew, to close a lot of my retail operations, unemploy my people. I mean, I had people working for me for 25 years that were quote unquote black and brown, which is a term that I absolutely hate, because I'm cute. A lot of my family is black and brown. Right. I hate. So anyway, so we closed a lot of our operations, but then lo and behold, COVID came. Right. So we started doing a lot of stuff like DocuSign and in a lot of other ways that other businesses operate. So we kind of do things in that way. We still have, I think, 2 or 3 operations, but before bail reform, retail operations, but before bail reform, we had 7 or 8.
So are you operating in the other states now, or just New York?
Well, it's a little bit, I do operate in other states because we also own the insurance company. So in other words, in order to be in bail, you have to have an insurance company to back you. So years ago, my nephew, who's also my business partner, said, NEM, we give those insurance people a lot of money every year.
Mhm.
You should be that.
Right. Yeah, you should own it. You should own it. Right.
He's a kid from Brooklyn too, but he's very smart.
Mhm.
So I said, I don't know, sounds expensive. Lo and behold, I was signing away my firstborn, and we own the insurance company too. So we're like in other states essentially. So I have agents in other states.
Right. So for first time listeners who never been to jail or don't know what bail is, because these days we only know what cashless bail is. Explain to them when we had bail, what is the process? How do they contact a bail bondsman, bail bondswoman, whatever the term may be these days. Bail bond
is the property.
Right. So how does the whole how does a prisoner or inmate contact a bail bond? How do they get bail? What is the judge? To explain the whole process for people listening.
Well, I'll explain the process to you in New York because it's abundantly fair in New York. In New York, when you're arrested, you're arraigned within 24 hours in order for your arrest to be valid. So even if you're the drunk driver, you're going to be arraigned at your hospital bedside in order to make sure that arrest sticks. And there is still bail in New York. I don't want people to think that there's not. It's just that the bail that is in New York is overcharged, and I'll explain that in a minute. But so what happens is little Johnny gets arrested, and little Johnny's mom gets notified. He calls her from the one phone call from corrections and tells her mom, I'm in jail. I'm at Rikers. I have a $10,000 bond. I need to get out of here. And mom either will go up and pay the state $10,000 or she'll call a bondsman. And in the state of New York, bail premium is 6%. It's kind of like a weird sliding scale. People think it's 10. It's not. $160 is the premium, statutory premium for a $10,000 bond. She puts that up, some sort of collateral, and mom, dad, grandma, auntie, uncle sign for a secured bond policy. A lot of the times, people like yourself and other people refer to it as cashless bail, but that's a Democratic branded talking point that was created by PR firms. That is not accurate. So we are the secured bail industry. And the reason why we're the secured bail industry is because it's secured. If the defendant fails to appear, we're going to hunt him.
Right.
And we're going to return him to the proper jurisdiction. This way, it makes a victim whole and makes sure the state doesn't have to sentence that defendant in absentia. It's the circle of love works when you're releasing an offender into society, back into the community. You want it to be grandma and mom that are signing for him. They're not afraid when they pay the government and the government is the overseer, but they are afraid of grandma.
Right. Yeah, because she's you got to see her every day, or whatever. You don't have to see the government. Who cares about the government? Right,
exactly.
No one cares about the man, because whatever.
Right.
So interesting. Yeah, no, I'm not for this cashless bail nonsense. I've seen some of the crimes that cashless bail as that they let these animals out for. You can touch a child inappropriately, you can stab somebody, you can shoot somebody, and you're out before your soup gets cold. It's fucked up. And that must make your blood boil, because it hurts your business a little bit too as well.
Well, it's not just my business, because people always think that it's my business because,
But just as a human being, I'm saying as well.
I'm a mother of four.
Right. That's what I mean.
I'm a mother of 4 children. I'm a grandmother. I'm a daughter. I'm a human. And I also have been running crime in New York City for 30 years. So there's nothing any government's going to explain to me that I don't already know.
Right.
It boils my blood only because I see recidivist offenders getting the nod.
Correct.
And getting the free DAT ticket all the time, over and over. And it boils my blood even further because anybody that knows me, and everybody knows me pretty much in law enforcement, knows that I am a staunch supporter of blue. I pretty much grew up in the jails. My first love is the Department of Corrections, and then everybody else. So it hurts law enforcement, and anything that hurts law enforcement or demeans them or diminishes public safety. I mean, look what's going on in New York City. Nobody wants their kids to go see shows and take the trains and come home from Pace University. My daughter went to go see Billie Eilish like a couple of weeks ago with her girlfriend. I was having a heart attack.
I don't blame you. I mean, every day, literally every day, you read that someone gets stabbed in the subway, shot, raped, and all these guys are 45 repeat arrests.
Yeah.
And we're not making this up. This is facts. This is facts.
Well, Kathy Hochul doesn't seem to think so.
No. Neither does AOC or all of them. I mean, it's AOC, I believe she said they're only committing crimes because they're hungry or they're upset about COVID. It's all bullshit nonsense, Michelle. I mean, come on. I mean, you worked in this industry for 30 years. People commit crimes because they want to commit crimes. I mean, come on.
It's a job. It's just like any other job.
Correct.
Nobody's mandated to commit crime.
No.
And the thing about crime is when there's no consequence to crime, it begets more crime.
Correct.
And that's what happens. And what happened with bail reform is once they released all the EDPs, for people that don't know what that is, that's emotionally disturbed people.
Right.
When they were incarcerated on Rikers Island, they got their antipsychotics at 1 in 9.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But now they don't get their antipsychotics. They're all homeless.
Mm-hmm.
They can't tell the fundamental differences between right and wrong because they got the voices talking to them.
Mm-hmm.
So they commit crime of moral turpitude, crime against human victim. That's what they do.
Right. So that's what I tell people. They don't understand. When I was FDNY EMS for 5 years prior to my new job. We take an EDP to Bellevue, 2 hours, they're out. That's it.
Yep.
The doctors, as soon as you get there, the doctors already know. We don't want to, they already say, this guy's a frequent flyer. We don't want to deal with him. They don't care. So that 850 million or 1.2 billion that the mayor's wife, I don't know what she did with it, but it didn't do anything for any mentally ill people, any homeless people. It did nothing. Actually, the situation is worse. It's worse, actually. Yeah. So, I mean,
it's really just a bunch of bullshit. It's a paid political agenda. It's nothing more, nothing less. But, Kathy Hochul's going to lose the governor's race because of it. She just doesn't think so. Somehow she thinks she's Wonder Woman. I don't know.
Well, last night I was actually with Andrew Giuliani. I mean, let me tell you, what a great guy. What a good speaker, just like his father. All right.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says about Rudy now with this whole Trump nonsense, but Rudy Giuliani was one of the greatest mayors this city has ever had.
Ever.
No one can take that away from him, even pre 9/11. I'm talking, he cleaned this city up. He cleaned it up. And even Bloomberg kept it good. And then de Blasio came and that was it.
Oh, destroyed it.
Destroyed it.
You can crap in the street, you can spit, you can be a hooker, you can be whatever you want.
A lot of people forget that Rudy did so much for the city because he was involved with Trump and whatever's going on. I don't even pay attention to that nonsense because I don't care. But I was with Andrew last night, and let me tell you, that guy, he really cares about this state. He cares about the city. He cares about law enforcement. He wants to get rid of this cashless bail, secured bail bullshit.
He would repeat the whole entire thing. He's a good friend of mine. So people like him that want to really know the belly of the beast when it comes to bail will always come to me and try to get educated because bail is a very mythical 4-letter word. And people don't know really what is it. They know it kind of what it is, but they don't really know what it is. So Andrew's a great friend. I hope he makes it. He's got a lot more cojones and gumption than Lee Zeldin, I think. That's just my opinion.
I personally never even talked to Lee Zeldin. Like I never spoke to him. I never really had any conversations with him. So I have no opinion on the man, honestly. So
he's a great guy.
Yeah, I just can't. I never really. I don't even know anything about Long Island.
I think that New York, the young, somebody who's young, somebody that has a really good spirit, somebody that I just think Andrew would be great. I mean, that's just my opinion.
What states have the most strictest bail laws, would you say?
That is a good question. I'm going to say, Alabama, Mississippi.
Interesting. Wow. So that they don't tolerate anything like there. Like, you commit like a very little crime, and that's it. You're
right.
Interesting.
Yeah, the sheriff runs them parts.
Yeah, the good old boys down there. They run
down there.
yeah. I figured somewhere down in the Bible Belt there, they would have some pretty strict bail laws.
Yeah.
But I don't understand New York City or even New York State, because New York City is a very densely populated place. Why would you want maniacs running around who they just stab somebody and then they just get out of jail? I just don't understand why.
Well, they haven't been convicted of a crime yet. I'm sure you know that they're poor and they could lose their jobs. Right.
But they haven't been committed of a crime, but you pick them up with a knife in their hand with the blood on it. I mean, no.
I mean, the real answer, the real true answer is they actually don't give a shit.
That's exactly what it is.
That's the actual answer.
Well, because they're all in DC most of the time, all these lawmakers. They're not in New York City. They don't care.
No matter what brand of politician, they don't give a crap. They don't give a rat's ass. Let me tell you something. When I first started doing this, I thought this was going to be easy. There's right and there's wrong. I thought, okay, pretty simple. 1 and 1 is 2 in America. You know?
30 years ago when you started, you said, right? The mayor, I'm 33. So it was still Dinkins, right?
No. I started, Mikey is 28. So probably like 27 years ago.
All right. So 27 years ago, that was like 92, 94,
yeah,
94-ish?
Yeah, 93.
So was Rudy in office yet?
Yeah, I think it was Rudy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so there you go. All right. So you actually started under a mayor who really cared about law and order and wanted to clean the city up, because he just came off of taking the mafia down. So he was all gun ho. Yeah. He was gun ho about law and order. So you actually came in as a good time, being a bail bondsman. You actually came in at a very good time.
I did, but I also did a great job. Right. And also the court depended on us, right? The court depended on Empire to make sure the defendant appeared. It was very important to defense counsel. It was very important to the prosecutor's office. It was very important to the criminal justice system in order for it to be successful as a whole. If you don't have a defendant that shows up for court, you have nothing.
Correct.
And when you release an offender into society, you want to make sure that offender is monitored. Nothing monitors criminal offenders like secured bail. We just do.
Right. But that's another thing. The mayor de Bozo with these all these perks. All these perks. If you come back to your bail here or your hearing, free Mets tickets, free gift cards. When he has people like you with reputations of actually bringing, guaranteeing defendants to be back, why would he just, he knows they're going to come back when he has Empire or whatever other companies are out there, but he still wants to waste taxpayers' money on these perks. I don't understand. What is this guy do? What was he doing? I mean, he's gone now, but I don't understand.
I mean, like I said, honestly, Mike, it's a Soros-funded political agenda nationally. It's he funds this, he funds prosecutorial races. His intention is to upend our entire criminal justice system as we know it. It's not just bail.
Yeah, you can tell in LA and all these cities, they're out of control. It's out of control. And it's not just bail reform. I mean, I talked to Michael Henry. He's running for attorney general. I don't know if you know him.
Yep.
Yeah, he was telling me he's just everywhere. It's out of control. Bail reform is just one of the issues that you have to start with. Yeah. What do you think about Mayor Adams talking about closing Rikers and opening up other places. What do you think of this Rikers closing and opening up jails in different boroughs? What do you think of this nonsense?
I think it's insulting to the people that live in these inner cities,
I agree with you.
I think it's very insulting. I think it's
Yes.
insulting to corrections, but I think it's insulting to the people that live in these communities. They don't want jails in their communities.
There's-
They don't want to walk their kids to school and walk past the jail with yellow walls and iPads.
There's already 2 federal jails. There's one in Brooklyn. There's 2 in Brooklyn. No, there's one in Brooklyn, and then you got one in Manhattan, and then you have the don't you have the jail in downtown Brooklyn right there on
Brooklyn House, yeah.
the Brooklyn? Yeah. So what's up with why you got to put more jails? We already have enough jails.
Well,
these boroughs.
because DeBozo and Don Cuomo made a deal with Delta and all them to
Because
take
of LaGuardia. Right.
and build a bridge.
Right.
I seen the blueprints.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, I think keeping all the inmates on an island away from society is actually a pretty good idea. And I feel like if you're a sensible person, I think you also think that's a good idea.
Yeah, but they're not, they're politicians, and it's, show me the money, show me the money, show me the money. You know what I mean? And look what happened to Don Cuomo. He got caught with his pants down. Isn't that horrible?
Well, he thinks he's I actually just saw a poll, and I swear to God, a Rasmussen poll, he's actually neck and neck with Hochul about running for governor. So I really hope he doesn't decide to run for governor again. I don't know what I'll do.
I think he's doing all these commercials just to put it out there and test it again. You know what I mean? He's just so riddled with ego. It's just unbelievable.
He hates Trump, but him and Trump's ego are literally the
same size.
They are the same size. It's so funny. It's just so funny. It's like unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
So what's in the future for Empire?
Well, I mean, Empire is kind of like Best Buy or PC Richards, right? I mean, it's just always going to be around.
Mm-hmm.
There's always going to be people that are accused of crime. And what happened in bail reform is, all the low-level offenders, they get DATs, they get the ROR. But the higher level offenders that, in order for the DA to make the charges stick, they really have to kind of upcharge and really go heavy on that felony complaint.
Right.
So whereas maybe yesteryear they were getting a bond for 200, now they're getting a bond for 600 or 800. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand. Right.
Empire is still going to exist. And, I'm going to continue. I'm the executive vice president of our New York State Bail Agents Association. I'm the founder of it also. And we're going to continue to advocate in Albany. We had a bail think tank last week with some incredible leaders, including Joan Paratrice, who you were with last night at the Blue Lives Matter Gala, and a few other really nice, leaders in NYPD and so on, and community leaders. And we're going to continue. We're going to march on the Capitol. Victims are getting involved. I work very closely with Madeline Brame, who's a victims' rights leader. And we're just going to continue to push the button and try to get fair laws for people that are innocent.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do right now, especially, and we have 2 more years of these assholes in the White House too. So maybe
it's 3.
Oh, 3. I'm sorry. You're right. 3 more years.
It's 3.
Yeah, well, I know. Well, first we get the Senate red and the House red, and then hopefully the president will be Republican, whether it's Donald Trump or whoever. Just needs to be a Republican.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. It just cannot be another Democrat. I don't care if he says he's moderate. I don't care if he says he's not Joe Biden. Just cannot be a Democrat. Just cannot be a Democrat.
Yeah, I mean, I think after people pay, $5 gas in New York and $9 gas in California, and they see the trend, and they, people can't afford to go to work no more, I think they might change their political ideology.
Well, there's a lot of people here I see on Twitter, these assholes on Instagram, that they don't care about the gas prices because they don't drive. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. They don't care about inflation because we're fighting Putin. I'm just seeing a lot of dumbass shit on social media.
And a lot of them,
I understand. They don't care about inflation. Okay. Yeah, it's nice. Must be nice. I care about inflation. I drive.
I care.
I mean, you said you have 4 kids?
4.
Right. I mean, I'm sure not all of them live at home, but I mean,
No.
yeah, but still, you still have kids and you have families to support here. I mean, your grandmother, you said, so.
Steak the other day, I was going to say Waldbaum's. I'm going back.
Yeah.
It's not Waldbaum's,
Yeah.
but Stop and Shop was $25.
Yeah.
What?
I
I'm
have
like,
I have a 14-gallon tank in my car. It cost me $75 to fill it up.
Yeah.
We don't care about inflation though. We don't care.
I mean,
But interesting question though. Now, so you said that bail scale is 6% New York, but would inflation ever affect bail? Never, right? It would always do
no,
the same.
not that premium, because we're a regulated industry. We're regulated by the Department of Financial Services.
Okay.
So, and I work very closely with the DFS. So no, statutory premium in the state of New York is not going to be changing.
But if it ever changed, why would it change?
It would change by pressure from our industry to increase it because of tax ratios that we pay so high, rents, cost of living, just like any other premium goes up, like your medical insurance premium.
Right.
But I'm not going to really be pressing that button when I'm just trying to save my brothers and sisters and just try to have secured bail remain a viable piece of the criminal justice system. So that's what I'm fixing to do, as they say in the South.
Fixing to do. All right. Well, you're very a lot of southern accent coming out on this. Interview.
Yeah, well, I have a house down south now, so that's probably why.
Are you spending most of your time in the South these days?
I kind of like red, white, and blue. I'm really into it.
Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good for you.
Yeah. My husband retired, so I can do what I do pretty much from anywhere. So, but I mean, I'm back and forth a lot. Don't get me wrong, but I like it here.
Listen, enjoy the great free state of Florida. Governor DeSantis is the best. Please.
Yeah.
I'll be in Miami this weekend, so I'm gonna enjoy Miami myself for a couple days. But yeah, sure. I'm Italian. Sorry, no habla español. I know it means welcome. I know. I'm just messing with you. But listen, Michelle, you're the best. You gave me more than enough time. I appreciate it. Good luck with everything. If you ever come back up here, let's hang out.
Welcome to New York's boldest.
Yes. Thank you.
Cobra Strong, all the way live.
Thank you. Bye, Michelle.
All right. Bye-bye.